छोटासा ग्लास असायचा त्यामध्ये घ्यायचं दोघांना मला कविता सांगावं लागेल I was revising the fun we had today for the test. I did the question answers as well as the chapter reading. We're doing adventure of Toto. So, I like this lesson. It's a cute lesson, the adventures of Toto. But you said I didn't get bored. You got bored after reading a passage or paragraph. Yeah, it was like, okay, there's a monkey. The monkey is mischievous. That's all. And then also my sister told me the monkey was also very destructive. Yes, kind of. Have you read Ruskin Bond stories? I used to read Ruskin Bond stories. Okay. Which one have you read? I've read quite a few. Like one that was about a talking parrot. Oh. It was about a child on the hill with a talking parrot. I've read so many stories. My mother used to read them to me and then I would read them to her. That's good. So that I could practice reading. I was not good at reading until the 3rd grade. I would despise it. Even like reading a paragraph would seem like such a big task. So Mama bought me Ruskin Bond books and she bought me the Tarzan, like 2 different copies of the Tarzan. They were, I don't know, maybe they were written differently, I don't remember. So I read them and I started liking reading. It seemed like, okay, what's on the next page? What's on the next page? Now I need to know what happened. Oh, so you did not start with what the Secret Seven and all those? I read it in the 5th grade, the famous 500 Secret Seven. Famous 5. Okay. My drawing teacher, like she was my tuition teacher and my drawing teacher, she had given me her son's old books that he used to really like. So like they were Secret 7, Famous 5 and a lot more books. I don't remember. He also the Grandma Tales. So her son was in college, so I got so many books to read. Good. So this is one such story by Ruskin Bond. It tells us about how his grandfather was extremely fond of different animals. Basically, he was fond of animals, and he had a private zoo in the house. So whenever he saw some animal and if he thought the animal is in distress, he would take the animal and get it home. Definitely, the grandma did not like it, but and many times to pacify her and to not aggravate her, he would keep it in hiding. He would hide those animals. So one such addition to his zoo was this monkey, Toto, and they named him Toto. And was it successful? Was he great? What happened? That's the story. Should I start reading? Yeah, let me take out the book first. Have you ever had a baby monkey as a pet? Toto is a baby monkey. Let us find out whether he is mischievous or docile. Do you have a pet? No. No. My mother never does. I really like dogs and cats specifically, and rabbits. But my mom never lets me keep any pets. She says I'm not old enough to take care of the pets. How old can I be? Should I be 50 to buy myself a pet now? I just asked her for like a cat. It's a ginger cat. My friend's friend was selling her because they're moving to a different country and they cannot keep her. So I was like begging her to keep it. She was like, no. Now, what's the difference in a normal cat and a ginger cat? Well, a ginger cat is like, there are many different breeds in cats, right? So a ginger cat, it was a Persian ginger cat. It was the Persian cats are usually huge, Yeah, but she was some mixed bred cat, so she was like the size of my forearm. It was also like very young, so maybe I didn't. They had just bought the cat and now they were moving. I feel bad for the cat now. They sent some homeless cat shelter.
Okay. So,
Grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough. And the monkey looked so out of place there that grandfather decided he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. Toto was a pretty monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep-set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were a pearly white, were very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. But his hands looked dried up as though they had been pickled in the sun for many years. Yet his fingers were quick and wicked, and his tail, while adding to his good looks, grandfather believed a tail would add to anyone's good looks, also served as a third hand. He could use it to hang from a branch, and it was capable of scooping up any delicacy that might be out of reach of his hands.
okay. So here, see the best thing about Ruskin Bond is his writing includes a lot of Indian words. He's an Indian author, and since he's an Indian author, uh, his writings have a lot of Hindi words, like the Tonga driver, and then the Maidan, and he likes to use those Hindi words in English. It's called code mixing, and therefore when you read his stories appeal to us. The other thing, when you read British stories or American stories, and they talk about fall season and autumn and snow and so many things,
It's not
relatable to us. So when you read his stories, you can immediately picturize it. So when you read Ruskin Bond's books, you should try imagining or try picturizing it. So here, Toto is given a beautiful, you can say, description of how this monkey was. Now, why did grandfather buy this monkey?
because it looked very out of place in the Tonga
Tonga
driver.
driver. Okay, and then this monkey had nice bright eyes. Then he had deep brows, and pearly white teeth. And when he smiled, that scared, that scared life out of this Anglo-Indian ladies. He is an Anglo-Indian author.
Yeah.
So grandfather had a great belief. And what was that belief?
That anyone would look good with that tail.
So anyone would look good with that tail. And he had this long tail, which he used as a
Third hand.
not only to hang from the branches,
But then also to get any delicacy out of the reach of his hands.
yes.
Grandmother always fussed when grandfather brought home some new bird or animal. So it was decided that Toto's present should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall, where he was tied securely, or so we thought, to a peg fastened into the wall. A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornament paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket, and my school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds. I wondered what grandmother would say. But grandfather didn't worry. He seemed pleased with Toto's performance. He's clever, said grandfather. Given time, I'm sure he would have tied the torn pieces of your blazer into a rope and made his escape from the window. The presence in the house still a secret, Toto was now transferred to a big cage in the servants' quarters where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together. A tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet goat. But the monkey wouldn't allow any of his companions to sleep at night, so grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun the next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him along.
Okay, so now grandmother did not like, so they decided to hide the monkey.
Presence of Toto.
Okay, where did they hide
They
Toto?
first hid him inside a closet opening
Yes.
inside Ruskin Bond's room's wall.
Okay. What was it? They thought, okay, they are fastened it where to a peg. When they came after an hour, What did they see?
They saw that the wallpaper was torn.
It had torn off the entire wallpaper. Now the plaster was also out and they could only see the brick wall. He had torn the school blazer. And was grandfather very angry with that?
He was just pleased with his performance.
He says that grandfather was very pleased. He said, "What a smart monkey! Had he come a little late, he would have tied, the shredded blazer, made it into a rope, and escaped." Okay. So now they decided to shift him where?
In the servants' quarter.
Yes.
With the other
In the servants' quarter.
with the other pets.
Yeah. What other pets did they have?
Tortoise, a pair of rabbits, and a tamed squirrel.
Okay. And a sheep.
Oh, a goat.
A goat, no?
Yeah.
A goat.
His pet goat.
His pet goat. So now they decided to keep there. But this monkey did not let any animal sleep that night. It was either making noises or irritating them. Did not let any animal sleep at night, and therefore grandfather decided that since he was leaving for Dehradun, why was he going to
No, he
Dehradun?
was going to Saharanpur to collect his pension from Dehradun.
Okay. Yeah. No, he was leaving to Dehradun to collect his pension in Saharanpur.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said that?
To leave Dehradun. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was leaving Dehradun to go to Saharanpur.
So, he was leaving Dehradun.
Yeah. Who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect
Yeah.
his pension in Saharanpur.
So he had to leave Dehradun and go to Saharanpur. What did he decide?
He decided to take Toto along.
Okay. Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. When the bag was closed, there was no escape.
This with some straws at the bottom became
Yes. Yeah, read.
This with some straws at the bottom became his new abode. When the bag was closed, there was no escape. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air. An exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, but while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway's turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. The poor man was taken aback, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You'll have to pay for it accordingly." In vain did grandfather take Toto out of his bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog, or even as a quadruped. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare.
Now, why did the ticket collector call it a dog?
Because it was an animal that needed to be, or maybe he did not recognize.
You think the ticket collector did not recognize that it's not a dog, it's a monkey?
I don't know.
Maybe there was ticket only for dogs.
Dogs, yeah.
And therefore he said, and grandfather was carrying a monkey. And grandfather kept saying that this is a monkey and there's no ticket for monkeys. There is only ticket for dog. And then the shrewd ticket collector kept saying, "You have a dog. You have to take the ticket." And he made him buy a ticket for the dog. He did not want any animal to travel for free.
How mean. Poor Toto was just chilling out. Come on. He just requires a bag. The ticket collector looked.
There was no need for Toto to put his head out and smile at him.
It would be such a good scene to look at. Think about how shocked you would be. Like, bag se nikla hua monkey is now staring at me. The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger.
No. The grandfather just to get his own bag.
Yeah, when grandfather just to get his own bag took from his pocket our pet tortoise, and said, "What I must pay for this, since you charge for all animals? Since you charge for all animals." The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look, and said, "No charge, it's not a dog." I love it. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable where he had for a companion a family donkey, Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from the bundle of hay. When grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her, he had fastened on to her long ears with his sharp little teeth.
You understood what happened?
Yeah, he was biting the donkey.
Yes. So here, when Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, they decided to shift him in a stable, and his companion was the
Donkey Nana.
Now, this grandfather, that night, on the first night, grandfather came down to see whether everything is fine. Now, what does that tell us?
He knew that Toto would do something out of it.
Or maybe he's such a compassionate person. He wanted he wanted to check on Toto, whether he's sleeping well in a new place. So probably, he's such a he was a true animal lover. And that's when he saw that his dog, Nana, his donkey Nana is pulling his head away from the hay. Instead of eating, he's pulling his head away from the hay. So he wondered what's wrong with this donkey. He gave him 2 slaps on his haunches and went to see. And what did he see? It was actually Toto who was biting his ears. Was trying to get rid of Toto actually, and therefore he was moving his head. And Toto was not letting him eat. And he kept biting its ears and pulling it on the other
Why didn't they give Toto a separate home when they realized already he's so mischievous? Maybe it would cost more, yeah.
Okay.
Toto and Nana never became friends. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feelings would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his part. Toto is really sassy. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in, with his head sticking out from the open kettle. This was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle.
So he was mischievous to the core, and here he would have hurt himself.
He was so obsessed with bathing.
And see how he would test the water. He had seen the author doing it. So he would first put the one leg and then put the other leg. Then he would take the soap and rub it. And then once the water cools down, he would even run and dry himself at the kitchen fire.
That must be such a good sight to see. If there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. He was always tearing things to pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw the plate at her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in her face. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree. The dish still in his arms, he remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every day. And then, in order to spite grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattering with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. Even grandfather realized that. We were not well to do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. Ruskin bond.
Bottle
Oh, what a
water
loss!
is-
What a loss!
Bottle.
He spent 3 rupees for the ticket, spent new money for the wallpaper, and then for the dish, for the food, and now he's
Curtains, the dresses.
poor grandfather.
So that was a bad investment. And if it's a true story,
Which I believe it is.
yeah, the way it is written with such conviction and such convincing,
Details in it.
Yeah, details in
Okay, yeah, it's not half bad. I do like this story.
it. Then I wondered why you did not like this
The
story.
first few paragraphs, they're like, okay, yeah, Toto is a monkey. We got him from the Toto driver, and grandmother doesn't like animals. So it's like, not fun.
Come on. But that's a common thing. The women in the house, they don't like. Not always. Not
Yeah,
always.
but that is a common thing. In my grandparents' home, there is 3 cats that always come every time there is some good food around or there is milk boiling. And I love to pet them, okay? Every time I go to my grandma's home, there's always dogs and cats around. Oh, my grandmother hates it. Because of me, when I leave, the dogs still come up to the first floor and they can climb stairs. They can, they can figure out the way to my room. I wish I was there though. This is in Banaras.
Okay.
My grandmother absolutely hates animals. She will feed them every time they come, and like every time the dog barks from like near the
Yeah.
balcony, she will give them rotis to eat. But she will not like the presence of them in the house.
Frankly, me neither.
They are so cute. You just need to bathe them once in a while and feed them, and they'll be like every time.
No, you need to take them out, otherwise they dirty the house.
These dogs are smart enough; they do it themselves.
The stray dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're only there for the time when I am there. I don't know how they know every time I go there. When the cats start showing up, then the dogs start showing up. And I spoiled a couple of cats by giving them milk. Now they're every time there's milk boiling, there will be 2 cats walking around the house.
God, risky.
It's an open house, so there's just I'll tell you how the house is built. It's very fascinating. There's just 4 corners, and the center is a hollow square. So the terrace also has a hollow square. The first floor also has the hollow square, and then the ground floor has this square. We call it the angan inside the house. It is just a square from the inside. It's so pretty. My great grandfather built the house, and it is this pretty shade of turquoise, like lighter than this.
Okay.
I love going there. It's been one
And
and a
all
half
the
years.
rooms are on the first floor.
Ground
Ground floor.
floor, there we have rooms, and then there is a passage to go upwards. Then there are rooms. All the rooms are exactly the same from the inside. Like there's such great symmetry inside the house. All the rooms have this one particular this shade of blue almirah hung from the top, and then there's a window right next to it. That's every single room. And like there's very intricate details on top of the door. So there's this short, like what do you call it, a window,
Yeah.
and it's not a complete window.
Yeah.
It
I
just
know. I
has
know.
holes and very pretty designs. From the outside, there is this Greek goddess with like animals around her. I love that house so much.
And how many people live there?
Well, unfortunately, now there's just two old couple and their two servants.
Oh, two old couples, no? But
My grandmother and my grandfather and my Aji and my Baba. As in their younger, my grandfather's younger brother and his wife.
okay, so they are called Aji.
Yeah, I got their younger, they are three brothers. So first is Papa, my grandfather, then Baba and Chote Baba. We call him Kanpur Wale Baba. He moved to Kanpur.
Okay. So since Baba and Aji are Maharashtrian
Yeah.
words,
For us, it's like everybody calls someone who's not your grandparents, you call them Aji Baba, and your grandparents, you call them Mummy Papa.
oh,
Yeah, that's a weird tradition in my house.
but then how come Aji? What's your last name?
Who?
Your
Rai.
Rai. Okay. I mean, since Aji and these are Marathi
Marathi
words,
term.
so then.
It has always been the case. Even my father, my grandfather, everybody used these terms. I don't know where they know them from. We didn't complete Ishwar and the storyteller in the school.
अरे तुम्हारे टीचर क्या
Our
भागती
teacher
है?
is like running like Usain Bolt. She just wants the syllabus for term 1 to be completed now. We have the PT1 exams, then the term 1, which is the midterms. Now we have the pre-midterms.
So pre-midterm the portion is?
The portion, I have it. I have sent to Rekha on this one. Pre-midterm portion is not that vast. Midterms will contain these chapters as well as more chapters.
Yeah.
I'm so scared for ninth exams because, like the finals, they will have all the chapters. How am I supposed to do that?
Actually, no. Sometimes they say, but in the finals they don't keep.
Huh?
And sometimes they do that. No.
I wish I am a part of that lucky batch now. Because I don't have the capacity to learn a whole book.
You don't have to learn the whole book. Once you know the story, it shouldn't be a problem. You have class groups, and do they send it on class group?
They do. But our teacher is so lazy. When we are in the school and when she remembers I'm supposed to make this announcement the day before so that they do it today, she'll text us in the group and act as if we are at fault for not doing anything. Why is it taking so long?
But do you remember what is it?
I had written it down, I don't remember.
Just to confirm that, and when will this pre-term would be?
It's from August the 1st.
Pre-term?
Yeah, we have our exams very late because we had a shortage of staff this year. So they cannot keep the exams without finishing the syllabus, right? So they pushed it.
And now you have something in July?
No.
Nothing.
They'll burden us with exams like within 1 month because they just want to run the syllabus first and then they'll take tests.
Okay. How does Toto come to grandfather's private zoo?
Toto comes to grandfather's private zoo once he spots Toto on a Tonga driver, tied up from a Tonga driver. He buys him as Toto seems very out of place from over there.
Okay. So you can say that grandfather was extremely fond of animals. He also had his private zoo. So, and once he saw Toto tied to a Tonga driver's feeding truck, and he looked very out of place, and that's when he decided, the grandfather decided to rescue him and make him part of the private zoo. So rather than Toto came to be grandfather's private zoo, why, then that becomes a little complicated sentence. If you end it with that is how, then it becomes
Simpler.
Okay. Toto was a pretty monkey. In what sense is Toto pretty?
Toto is described as a very pretty monkey, as he is said to have eyes that shimmer with
Sparkled with mischief.
eyes that sparkled with mischief, with
Deep set eyebrows.
With deep set eyebrows and a pearly white smile, which was often displayed when he was doing something mischievous. He was also said to have hands of a very old person and fingers that were always ready to do mischief. His tail was also described as a good asset that added to his beauty, which grandfather believes a tail would look good on everyone. He would use his tail to often hang from branches and grab any delicacy that he could not reach from his hands.
Very good. Excellent. Why does grandfather take Toto to Saharanpur?
Grandfather takes Toto to Saharanpur as he cannot, as he had not told grandmother about the presence of Toto in the house and could not figure out a way to keep him in the house without disrupting other animals or ruining the wallpaper.
No, now he was in the with other animals.
Yeah, because he could not, because he was disrupting the sleep of other animals. Grandfather decided it would be the smartest idea to take him to Saharanpur along with him.
How did he take him?
Grandfather took Toto to Saharanpur with a thick black canvas bag, which was
Full stop.
Which
Now
had
I need to
hay.
add full stop.
Yes, the bag had hay laid inside of it and zipped up so that Toto could not peek his head out of it. The bag was thick enough that Toto could not bite or scratch his way out of the bag.
How does Toto take a bath? 1 minute. Why does the ticket collector insist on calling Toto a dog?
The ticket collector insists on calling Toto a dog, as dogs are the only animals charged for traveling, and he wants to collect the 3 rupees of a dog ticket for letting Toto travel in the train.
How does Toto take a bath?
Toto learned to take a bath by looking at the author do the same. He would first cleverly test the water by dipping a single toe inside of it and then putting the other there, and sitting down until his neck was in the water. And when he was comfortable, he would grab a soap with his arms or legs and rub it all over his body.
Okay. Then,
then when the water would run cold, he would hop out of the bath and move to the kitchen fire to dry himself.
Yes. How does Toto almost boil himself alive?
Toto almost boiled himself alive once when he saw a kettle of water being boiled on top of the stove for tea. When he removes the lid and tests the water, it is just the right temperature. It was just the right temperature for him to take a bath. He does the usual by putting one toe inside and then the other leg, and sits down comfortably until the water starts boiling and Toto starts. Until the water starts boiling and Toto comes up, but then he realizes it's too cold outside and sits back down and sits there until grandma comes and sees him boiling himself alive.
Okay. Now be aware of the tenses.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make sure I don't mix up is was.
Yes. If you have started with was, stick to was. If you started with is, then stick to is. As far as possible, all the questions should be in past tense. Okay. Why does the author say Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long?
Toto was not the sort of pet that they could keep for long, and they were not very well to do, and the amount of financial burden Toto was putting on them by tearing down the wallpaper, shredding his school blazer, ruining sheets, curtains, and dresses, they could not afford to keep him for long.
Okay. So you'll write 2 answers. One is the last one.
Yeah.
Why does the author say Toto was not the sort of pet then you can say that yeah, Toto was very mischievous. He and that he grandfather had a zoo pet. Who was that?
I don't know. They just looked from the window and left.
Grandfather had a pet zoo, and but Toto did not get along with other animals. He would not let them sleep. He would trouble them by biting
the ears of the
donkey. Then he would tear the dresses. Many times he had torn the dresses of his aunts. He also once ended up eating the whole pulao and broke the dish. The curtains, the wallpapers had already broken by him, torn off by him. So grandfather was not, the author's grandfather was not well off, and they could not afford to spend money over and over again on the maintenance or the repair work caused by him. Okay, so mention all this because these questions will come as long
answers.
So you write question number 5.
Yes.
And how does Toto take part? That is easy, you will remember, right?
Toto was a pretty monkey. That's the answer I cannot remember.
Okay, then write that. That won't be too long also. You can write the second one.
Okay. I cannot remember the description of Toto very well.
You can always look into the book and write while writing now. But if you want to, or you can just read through it once and then try writing.
Yeah, that's better. I read for an answer. Wait, I need to first write the name of the chapter. I always forget the name. I just remember Toto.
I've written it here. The Adventures of Toto.
I am very slow. I bought the Dan Brown books that you suggested. I asked my father to order them. He ordered it. They will coming like today itself, I guess. Today was the date of the. Today is 29th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, today is
Which
the
one
day.
did you buy?
I have no idea. I just told my father the name of the author and he bought 3 books.
Oh wow.
Hopefully they are the right ones.
So the first one is this. The Da Vinci Code.
I'm pretty sure that must be one of them.
Yeah, so the first one is first book written by his Da Vinci Code. So you can start from that.
I will.
I hope you like it. It's a mystery, and if you like history and science, then it's a mixture of history, science, and history.
I'm pretty sure. The way you're describing the book, I'm pretty sure I love it.
And this book was banned by the church. The copies were burned in India. In US, there was a lot of uproar, but there it was not banned.
Why is that?
We are more orthodox probably in India. We are intolerant, we can say. We are more
What did the
intolerant.
book have that pissed them so much?
The book basically talks about Jesus being married.
Okay, that's a fun storyline to explore.
And it's not, and the way he explains is he was a Jewish person, and it's in Jewish tradition, when boys would get married by the age of 16. Then how do we say that he was not married when getting married was a common thing? But then, if you
The church did not like it.
the church did not like it because they want him as the son of God, and son of God was the lonely, no wife, no nothing. All those.
He was not of any worldly pleasures, basically. They want to force that idea.
Yeah, that every saint, everyone is is without a wife, without marriage. So he cannot be a family man.
That's such a messed up belief, though.
So, but you must read the story, it's amazing. I don't want to
Spoil it.
spoil it for you.
Okay. I'll probably be done reading it by the next class. I'll tell you how I like it.
Okay.
I am a very fast reader with novels. That often does piss my mother off because instead of sleeping, I start reading books. If I'm very invested in the book, I'll turn off the corner light of the room and just sit and read the book until it's done.
Actually, I started reading Bangalore a little late in life, I would say. Means when Da Vinci Code was first published, I read about the book and I was like, I'll read. And I had seen all the hangama that was going on. And then one year, once I just took the book. And then I liked it so much that I practically read every book since then. Now I wait for the new book to get published. I've read every interview of the author, everything about the author.
I am so ready to get into the book now.
I'm like, now I'm worried. I hope you would like it.
If you have suggested it, just trust me, I like it. I started with Pride and Prejudice pretty recently.
Oh,
Yeah.
you liked it?
I have just started it.
I personally like it, but
My mother bought it for me.
oh, great.
So she was like,
It's a long novel, goes on and on and on, but one of the classics.
my mother said like in college courses they ask you to read it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, then buy it.
It's and it, no, yeah, it's a thick one. Do you have a
I have the physical copy.
physical copy?
No, I have two different, like, it's in two parts, the book that I have.
Okay.
So it's just this thick, two books.
Two.
And I don't think it's one of the originals that the author published. It's like someone who republished the books, like sold it again. Because it has really bad printing. It seems like a third copy book which has like poor prints. My mother could not find, like, she went offline to buy the book. She was going out with a friend somewhere and that's where she found it. So she called me and she was like, I'm buying this book.
I have a digital copy. I read, then I wanted the book, so I have my copy of the Kindle.
Okay. One of my friends, she wrote a poetry book. I haven't bought it yet. I feel bad for like delaying buying it. But it has good reviews. It's not very famous because of course she's just like she's 14.
Okay.
A year younger than me.
Nowadays there are so many private publishers.
Yeah.
Like you can publish your
Penguin
own.
publication. She's trying to publish a book with Penguin publication now. She wrote like 2 emails and she got a response.
Oh.
I'll ask her about it today. does a private zoo actually mean? Is it like
Private zoo means he had multiple animals. So it was therefore it's called a private zoo.
okay?
He had a tortoise. It's not that people would come and visit and see it.
Okay.
It was his
Own little display of animals.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's called private zoo because
I thought it
he
was
had
like a
many-
small zoo.
No, because he had so many animals at home. The term he has given, the author has given it a term as his own private zoo. Then how does it go for math and science in your school? For that you have regular teachers.
For maths and for science, we don't like we were not having like a very regular teacher. So we got the physics teacher to teach us other subjects which she is not qualified for. She cannot teach us biology. She doesn't understand biology. She was teaching us cell and asking us the question. We were all just overall confused, and she's like, "I'm just saying her to complete the syllabus. Don't ask me anything." It's only in ninth grade that we start seeing this side of the school. Otherwise, till eighth grade, till primary sections, they're like all like
Because the subjects are easy.
yeah,
Anybody
anybody
can
can
come and teach. It's where it is specialization, where specialization.
ever since like science got divided in different parts, no, the teachers themselves like we got to first we had a different teacher for physics, then she was shifted to chemistry, and some other teacher started teaching us physics. She cannot even teach physics very well, and now she's given biology too. And the chemistry teacher does not know chemistry; she knows physics. So it's overall just okay. I'm supposed to sit through this and write down the notes.
So
Very
you are totally dependent on the class.
yeah. That's why I come here for all subjects. My sister had taken classes in the beginning not for Hindi, and then she realized our school doesn't even teach Hindi very well, so she forced me to take all subjects.
This is Ryan and Koperkirni also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not Copenhagen, Harvard. Ryan's not in Copenhagen.
Okay. Then
Ryan is everywhere but Copenhagen. Now that you've said that.
because in Koperkirni we have this group of children.
Who go to Ryan and they're from my school. They will tell me about you.
Okay. They're from yours.
Soumya, Shaurya.
Yes.
Yeah. They're from my school.
Okay. I'm ready from there. They come to your school. Okay.
They did tell me about you. They were like, what English teacher do you have? What math teacher do you have? I'm like, they're like, I have Neelam ma'am for English. They're like, oh yeah, we love her. We just, then I asked them about like the sessions they have. Is it 1 hour or 2 hours?
It's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours for them. They don't have
Everybody
different.
has same book. All the schools there follow this same book.
And then they were just surprised.
Everybody followed this book. I don't know what is that. Why?
And she was just surprised that I get like people change the books. I was like, yeah, you should talk to people from DPS and Jaipur, yeah. No other branch has like separate books.
This and Nehru.
Yeah,
Nehru.
Rucha told me about it. Yes, done.
Done?
I read the part and then I wrote the answers.
And his teeth, now there's no which were pearly white. तो आगे कुछ लिखना पड़ेगा which लिखा है. So his teeth were pearly white, a set of pearly white or just pearly white. Which, don't write which, because then this sentence is incomplete.
Okay.
It has to be which were pearly white, would scare, very complicated. So were pearly white.
I tried to keep it constant with the tenses this time and break it into sentences, hopefully.
This will try it out. Okay. Okay. Since they were not well off, they could not afford constant expenses incurred due to. So that should be the last one. So next class we will do active and passive voice. Okay. We haven't done that, so we will do that, and for that we need 2 periods.
I added the sentence, as his grandparents weren't well off, they couldn't afford the constant expenses, making him a pet they couldn't keep for long.
Yes.
Want to read it?
No, that's fine. I read let's do the volume. There will be some multiple choice questions, no?
Yeah. I had opened the correct book and then closed it.
Soumya apparently is very fond of reading.
Yeah.
She keeps reading.
She reads in class too. Whenever we have free lectures, she constantly reads. She is my kind of person. She reads and then she gives me random summaries, and I'm like, I did not know the book, but thanks.
So something happened, and wasn't this taught? Yes, that was taught, but I understood nothing. The teacher kept ranting something, and I finished the book during that period.
Yeah, that's very often.
I had you heard her, listened to her, you would have understood something.
She's almost every time she's either absent or reading, or she's nowhere to be found in the class.
And then is she?
She's either just sleeping or she's in the nursery. She's a wonderful character to be around. But then she likes reading and she has her own little thing she does.
Okay. Pick out the correct answers.
Okay.
Was it decided to keep Toto's cousin secret?
Toto could hang from branch and put things in his mouth. Both the answers would be correct.
hang thermograms and put things into his nose? No.
Okay.
Hang only. And then he would pick things which he
yeah, delicacies that he could not control. I like how it is dishes.
Very complex.
Wonderful to teach that. Thank you. I love the options they gave. Grandmother is crying. Why would you do this to me? Why would you bring it up?
Thanks.
Multiple choice questions are always the easiest in literature. Even in Hindi, they will give the longest descriptive option as the answer, and it is in great detail. Okay, others are Surya, Chandrama, Tare. I'm like, obviously. I love that about MCQs in literature.
The poor man was taken aback, but with presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, said, "Who's the poor man?"
The ticket collector.
Yes. Why was grandfather annoyed?
Because Toto decided to show up, and that would cost him money to travel with him.
No, so grandfather was annoyed because now he would have to, Toto's ticket, pay for Toto's ticket.
Was 3 rupees that expensive at that time?
Yeah, of course. Because the story must have been Ruskin born. So today he is 80. He's 80.
In his late 80s, right?
Yeah, almost. So
This is his childhood, so that's long.
1950s or 60s.
I did the math real quick in my head.
Who is referred to as Nana?
Nana is the family pet donkey.
Yes. Why was she puffing at her altar?
Sorry?
Why was she puffing him? It is called she, Nana, puffing at her altar.
Because Shota was white in her ear.
Yes. What was the great treat for Toto?
What was?
The great treat for Toto?
Was it the pulao?
No. Taking warm bath during long winter days.
Okay, yeah, that was a treat for Toto, so I forgot.
So during cold winter evenings,
he would take a very late and detailed bath.
bath.
But I will say Toto was very smart though. Like if you think about it in hindsight, that's a funny. It was seeming very funny. But then, how could he learn mannerisms and then imply them?
Yeah. But then he was also very destructive.
That is also
very
true.
difficult.
That also shows he had a lot of mind to cause those destructions.
So keeping such pet is difficult. Like I have a friend who she's extremely fond of dogs. Means every day she cooks and takes food for stray dogs.
That's so
She's
nice.
she's like a dog whisperer. Like she can read their mind. She can talk to them. It's like
So good.
which is But her own dog, he's a darling, he's her pet. But I personally feel he's also very destructive. Like, not tearing clothes and
My Naniji's German Shepherd, he is so destructive. She refuses to let go of that German Shepherd. It is like a police dog. When it was a pet, it was training for police, but then halfway through, his grandfather took him and he bit off the chain, like the actual metal chain. He just bit it off and ran into the house. That's how destructive he is. And my grandmother loves him too much. My Naniji, she just loves him too much to let go. Could never leave me.
I think all these questions you will do. Why could Toto and Nana not become friends?
Because Toto bit her ear and wouldn't let her eat.
Just go through these questions also. In the previous batch, that with this book,
Yeah.
but then I have to rush a little because each one's speed is different there. So he has many questions.
Anurag is quite the character in certain lectures. Usually in science lectures, he asks the most like outrageous questions which have no answer. And then the next class, he'll have the answers in set and just tell the class.
Oh, great.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you.
Just checking.